Good afternoon. I would like to welcome all of you to your first HQ Blacks Peach meeting. We will be assessing all of your proposals for their respective merits. As you know, HQ Blacks is a highly sought after company dealing in only the finest talent. If we sound a little sure of ourselves, it is only because we stand resolute in our ability to meet the needs of consumers. We put the H in HQ Blacks, and the H stands for high. So good afternoon and welcome to your first HQ Blacks pitch meeting. We will be assessing all of your blacks for merit and respect. If we sound ourselves, it is only because we stand in need of consumers. We put the H in HQ Blacks, and the H stands for hunger. We are so used to being consumed, we are experts in the field. Serve ourselves on plates so large, we are a hog the size of progress that stuffs whole orchards in our mouths to remind you that we are sustenance, happy to be consumed. Every bite of our offerings a thanksgiving, all prey should be so lucky. We put the black in HQ Blacks, and the black stands for delicious. Black quality control is our top priority. Our brand is smoking, literally just left of the right shoulder blade. Our culture is dying in the streets to meet you. But to do this work efficiently, we've compiled a short list of things we require if you wish for us to establish HQ Blacks in your city. First, we require earth. We were imported wholesale from a land of big skies, the shipping and handling a caress of waves and whips, prices hung on our toes like body tags, a distant cousin's belly for bubble wrap. We cannot drink water without wanting to drown a 400-year-old song in our throats that sounds like Marvin Gaye singing the national anthem after crying in a locker room, needing to kneel. Not yet knowing that one day that will be an answer. No place to put those knees, those tears, that water, so it hits the ground in buckets of song and dance and run and play and die. So earth, ground that doesn't move or sway or rock or flow, that swallows all memories and bones equally. Earth, my dear city, is a non-negotiable. Do you realize how much land it takes to make the blues? How many acres of cotton, plots of shotgun shacks, rentable plantation getaways you have to square cubically, then multiply by the dead root of an oak tree, minus a noose, carry the dead, divide family, use an inverse sin function, raise sweat to the power of whip, take the log of a coon hunt, hit the integer button on an abacus with skulls for beads, parentheses humanity, store humanity, recall humanity, fraction humanity equals a lot of land. Somewhere in there, someone called it blues. Skipped all the other obvious colors, could have called it reds for blood, browns for skin, purples for bruise, blacks for night. Someone skipped blacks for night, went straight for blues. Bypassed all that Stygian firmament with its twinkling naps, teeming with prayers and manifestos and jambalaya recipes, and instead cast their eyes to the body lying next to them in a cabin, the moon somewhere else, but leaving behind just enough midnight luster to read the braille of scars on a lover's back, the shine gone to indigo on her crossing peaks. And when she was taken, he went back to the night as if it were an altar, lay in his bed of straw and lice and empty, felt her runaway scars still under his fingertips, each a poltergeist flipping his insides in despair, then put a fiddle bow to it, named it after them scars, them blues. You don't even want to see the math on gospel. We might have done jazz with a backyard way back when, but the real estate footprint on hip hop is enormous. So sure, you live in a city, but it's a razor-shaped city. Got us standing on an edge that's cut us so many times, we just keep dancing through the tears. A city puts your name in lights as it cuts your electricity, shoots you a block away from a park that swears it cares. Every grass in it, a blade shaving away resistance like a please grater. Which albatross do you want us to be? The one that flies always at sea, wings wide, held aloft on hope and maybe and soon far from proper civilization? Or would you prefer the burden fowl, hung round the mariner's neck, a mewling reminder of your crimes when all you wanted was to get in a little sailing? And see, right there. I went to the schools you told me to. I'm not supposed to know either one of those analogies. When you know, one of us knows some of that, you got to do something else. You don't pull over someone who rocks Samuel Taylor Coleridge when a Jonathan Livingston Seagull reference will do. See, this is the kind of pop-up HQ Blacks experience we can provide a thriving city on the come-up. A razor only serves to cleave us from our best offerings. And statistically speaking, no one can survive on 50% of themselves. So we're going to need some land. Where else will we put all these things you love? I don't mean to inside trade here, but if you knew how powerful we were, you could have saved your money, put us in the ground a long time ago, that knowing embrace of dirt and memories, dressed us in our funeral best, had Elvis sing all the hymns we left behind, smashed the organ with your glee at our demise, hired all white-gloved ushers. That's a beautiful gentrification. Instead, you've chosen all the wrong pallbearers. Your way don't have the upper body strength to carry a people who refuse to die. You would be better off handing out shovels, planting us where we fall, pave us over with blacktop like licorice to the tongue, a headstone of sandwich boards touting the flavor of the week. Give me a chai mocha, pumpkin spice latte tombstone any day. We also require wind, by which I mean air, by which I mean breath, by which I mean my life, by which I mean breathing, by which I mean resuscitate, by which I mean trachea, by which I mean open, by which I mean alive, by which I mean breath, by which I mean hog-tied, by which I mean choked, by which I mean held, by which I mean embraced, by which I mean lover's nook, by which I mean hold, by which I mean chokehold, by which I mean safe, by which I mean breath, by which I mean oxygen, by which I mean 2 parts hydrogen, by which I mean water. We're going to need water. Not that water you save for rainy days. Violence can be a water fountain if you speak its language, read its colored signs. The problem isn't that we don't like nice things. We don't build any sidewalks. We are not too poor for your clean water. You are just too rich to care. So in closing, we require a 10-year abatement on death to put HQ Blacks in this city. Not natural causes. We get that we're only immortal when we sing. Just the deaths by razor, the deaths that should not be. We have sweated over all your earth, thrown all our prayers into your winds, drank the flintstone silt at the bottom of all your water. The only element we do not require of you is fire. Fire we have in abundance. Fire is the one thing we kept for ourselves.